Hello there, this is Okpe Afolabi from Young Couples Heavens. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things I believe young couples who are planning to get married must be aware of before they say the marital vows. If you are in that category, you're planning to get married or you're about to get married, take a seat, let's get into this thing together. Welcome back. If you are new to this channel, this is Young Couples Heavens. This is where we talk about Christian principles for godly marriage relationships. So please, make sure that you press the notification bell, subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified each time we release a new video. Now, let's get into the discussion for today. Now, the first thing I want you to know when it comes to marriage, when you're planning to get into marriage, the first thing I want you to know is that your choice matters. Who you choose matters. You see, the idea that, oh, you can just marry any man or you can just marry any woman, all men are the same, all women are the same, that's not exactly true when it comes to marital relationships. You see, marriage is a journey of a lifetime. It's a journey that will impact every aspect of your life. It will impact your finances, it will impact your career, it will impact your life, it will impact every aspect of your life. You see, if you're going to go into a journey with somebody, you know, for a lifetime, I think it's just wise that you put proper consideration into the choice of that person that you embark on that journey with. So the idea that, oh, you can just choose anybody, that's not exactly a wise idea. You see, it's important for you to ensure that proper thoughts, not just feelings, proper consideration is put into that choice. You want to consider, do they share the same values with you, or do you share the same values with them? You want to see that, are you going the same direction? You know, are there things that you're not very comfortable with? You want to put proper thought into that relationship, into that choice, you know, not just infatuation. You see, because decisions ultimately determine destinies. So the first thing I want you to know when it comes to your marital relationship or your marriage is that the choice of who you marry is important. Your choice matters. Now, the second thing I want you to know is that love is not enough when it comes to marriage. Now, I'm not saying that love is not a very important ingredient. Of course it is. You see, you shouldn't marry somebody you don't love. You shouldn't marry somebody you don't have a connection with. But it's important for you to know that when it comes to recipe, when you're considering a recipe for successful marriage, love is just an ingredient. Now, there are also some other ingredients that needs to be considered. Now, if those ingredients are neglected, you see, your love can easily turn into it. It's one thing I often tell people is that when it comes to relationships, every marriage is different, but the principles that guarantee successful marriages, they are the same. So if you just take love and then you neglect these principles, there is a possibility that your love for your spouse or your potential spouse can easily turn to hate. So love alone is not enough. You must seek knowledge. You must know what it takes to make marriage work. Now, number 3 is that marriage is not a Cinderella story. It is a journey of seasons. You see, there are a lot of pictures that is constantly being painted to us, or there are a lot of pictures constantly being painted to us when it comes to marriage from social media, home videos, you know, reality TVs and things like that. But the truth is that when it comes to marriage, even though it's a love affair, you're going to go through seasons. You see, there will be a season where it's just the two of you. Then there will be a season where you would have children. And then you will have to cater for the needs of those children. You see, they will need your attention too. The same way your spouse needs your attention. There will be seasons where sometimes you would have to support each other. There will be seasons where maybe that person, you see, the idea, when we get into marriage, for instance, you know, during our wedding ceremony, there is always, you know, that statement of for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. You see, and they say till death do us part. You see, those words, they are expression of seasons. So there's a season of better, worse. There's a season of rich and poorer. It's just expression of seasons. It's not a cause. It's not something. It's just expression of seasons. Your marriage will go through seasons. And it's important for you to know that those seasons are not designed to destroy your relationship. So when you understand that at the start, when you get into a relationship and some things begin to happen, you would know that one of the things that makes marriages work is commitment. You see, commitment is one of the things that, you know, the way I define commitment is willingness to go through difficult times together. Because, you know, let's face the reality. You'll go through difficult times. There'll be difficult times in your relationships. You know, now it can come in different ways. It might not be something that has to do with both of you. It might be something that has to do with maybe your extended family, and then it's impacting both of you. It could be a lot of things. But one thing that you must note is that what? Marriage is a journey of season. You see, no matter how tough that season is, you're still going to get into another season. But bear in mind, that season does not include domestic violence. You know, it does not include when somebody is very abusive to you. That's not a season you must tolerate. All right. So, but generally speaking, when it comes to marriage, marriage is a journey of seasons. You must note that. Sometimes the guy who doesn't have today might likely have tomorrow, and that's the truth. Or the woman who you think that, you know, she's not there today might be there tomorrow. So please understand, it's a journey of seasons. Now, number 4, the fourth thing I wanted to know, is that who your spouse is at the point of your joining together is who they will be after the joining together. So what I mean is that if your spouse was broke before you got married, now on the marriage altar, they will not become automatically rich. Now, if they lacked self-control before you both were joined together, after you get married, they will not automatically get self-control. If they are indisciplined, if they don't know how to handle things, and you both get married, they won't automatically become that kind of a. So now, one of the reasons why this is very important is that because we see some of our ladies, some instance, you see a guy who is not very disciplined, who womanizes, he has so many girlfriends, you just want to marry him by force. Now the idea is that if I marry him, and then I've already secured him, you know, from the women outside. I don't think that's exactly true in all cases. You see, if he's a womanizer, the only thing that changes on the altar, on your marriage altar, or your wedding altar, I mean to say, is what? Is the name. He's still going to remain a womanizer. So the idea that you're going to chisel him into shape is not exactly correct. In fact, when you sample marriages, it's that that's not exactly the case. So I want to advise, you see, any character, any attribute that you cannot tolerate in marriage, don't marry that character. Any attributes that you cannot, when you see that person, if he's a woman beater or is an abuser or she's an abuser before marriage, now that you both now say the vow does not mean things are going to change. The next point that I want you to note is that you don't just marry a person, you marry into a family. That's the 6th point I want you to know. You don't just marry a person, you marry into family. And sometimes, you know, we don't get this when we are getting into marriage. We just think that, oh, it's just me and my spouse, it's just me and my man, it's just me and my woman. That's not exactly the case. You're going to have the parents come over. You're going to have brothers and sisters. You're going to have family dinners. You're going to have Thanksgivings. You're going to have a lot of celebrations together. And sometimes you're going to have to make decisions together. You see, when it comes to marriage, you don't just marry a person. Obviously, you're going to live with that person for the most part of it. But there are some times that you would realize, in fact, very soon, that you have not just married a person, you have married into a family. You see, so the culture of that family sometimes can impact your marriage a little bit. You see, the upbringing, the nature and the dynamics of that family sometimes can impact your family. So I usually advise people that the family you marry into is as important as the person you get married to. The family you marry into is as important as the person you get married to. And finally, that I want you to know is that, you see, you have a lifetime to learn about sex. You don't need to practice it before you get married if you're a Christian. You have a lifetime to learn about it. Forever is a really long time to learn about it. So if you're a Christian couple, you don't need to say, oh, I want to get good at it. You don't need to. You have a lifetime to practice about it. Yes, you can have some basic knowledge and things like that, but don't involve yourself in the sort of knowledge that will get you into sin. You see, the scripture says that marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. It said adulterers and fornicators, God will judge. Obviously, I hope this has blessed you today. So if you've been blessed by this, I want you to share this with your friends. I want you to press the notification. I want to press the like button and then share this with your friends next time. All right, see you soon.